He's a Baseball Hall of Famer, class of 1992, three-time World Series champion with those crazy Charlie Finley A's out there in Oakland. He is most obviously also associated with the Milwaukee Brewer years. He's Rollie Fingers here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Rollie?
Doing great, thanks.
So is it safe to assume you had the handlebar mustache for all 17 seasons, or that is not the case?
No, I didn't have it all 17 seasons. I came up at the end of the season in 1968, and we didn't start the mustaches until spring training of 1972. So from 72 on.
So you pitched 4 seasons clean-shaven? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. You know, I had a little bit of a mustache and a beard when I didn't shave for a couple of days, but I never let it go more than a couple of days.
And before we linger too long on the facial hair aspect, what was the genesis of it, Rollie?
Well, we, you know, at the time there was no facial hair in baseball. You know, it was kind of frowned on. And Reggie Jackson came to spring training in '72 with a kind of a beard and a mustache, and wouldn't shave it off. And so all the guys got on him, and he still wouldn't shave it off. So there was about 4 of us, me and Catfish Hunter, Darryl Knowles, all pitchers. I think Bob Locker was in one of the guys, and we were sitting in the bullpen one day, and we decided, hey, let's grow mustaches. And you know, if we grow mustaches, Dick Williams, who was our manager, would say, okay, guys, you know, facial hair, get rid of it. And then Reggie would have to shave his off. And Charlie Finley found out what was going on. He thought mustaches was a great idea. Of course, he was crazy enough to think it was a great idea. Mm-hmm. And so he told everybody on the ball club, if you on opening day, if you make the ball team and you have a mustache, you get $300. And that's the only reason why we grew mustaches, was to get $300 out of Charlie.
$300 out of the tight-fisted Finley, essentially, is what you're trying to do.
On opening day, he came down to the clubhouse, had 30 checks for 25 players, 4 coaches, and a manager, and even the coaches and the managers got paid. So we all got $300, and a couple of guys shaved them off. Didn't really couldn't grow facial hair. I think Campaneris was one. I think Blue Moon Odom was another guy who couldn't. He didn't have a whole lot of facial hair, so they shaved them off. But most of the guys kept them.
Yeah.
We just started. We started winning, and we started growing the long hair, and then we had the long. You know, the long hair and the wild uniforms and the white shoes, and I mean, people just came out to see us. I mean, we packed houses on the road.
You sure did. And now here we are in 2016, Rollie Fingers, with the conversation that there's not enough personality in baseball, that baseball needs to be made fun again as Bryce Harper wears the hat. And it's amazing that that's the conversation right now. What do you think of that, Rollie?
Well, you know, baseball's supposed to be fun. I mean, baseball's a kid's game. I mean, but you know, there's men playing a kid's game and getting paid for it, and you know, baseball's supposed to be fun. And when it's not fun, then you don't want to play it anymore. But you know, there's some great players now. Guys are taking care of themselves a little bit better, I think. Guys are getting stronger. They're hitting you know, longer home runs. You know, it's a different game than it was when I played. And I think the biggest change, of course, is the financial end of it. So. You guys are making a lot more money.
So bat flipping and things of that nature, or do you think that has a place in the game to provide the personality? Where do you stand on this?
I don't think bat flipping. You know, I yelled at guys. You know, if I gave up a home run, you know, some guys will sit there and they'll stand there and they'll watch it, and I'll yell at them, "Get your hind end moving." You know, don't show me up. And the bat flipping, I'm not a big fan of the bat flipping. You know, I know that when I played, or you know, guys before me, that would. I mean, you wouldn't even think about doing that against Don Drysdale or Bob Gibson or Gaylord Perry or you know, any of these guys, because you're going to get hurt. And you know, it's a different game now. And so, you know, I don't think it's a good thing to flip a bat, but you know, when a guy hits a home run, run around the bases. I mean, I never struck out a guy and watched the guy walk back to that guy pointing fingers at him and staring at him. So why would a hitter want to, you know, show me up?
So I guess where can the personality come into play in baseball today? I guess maybe somebody should grow a handlebar mustache and just, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I think a lot of it's good right now. You know, I think players interacting with the fans more. I think that certainly helps. Interacting with the kids, signing autographs before a game. I mean, I used to do it. I'll go over alongside the foul lines and before a game, and I'll sit and sign autographs, for kids and whatnot. But I think a lot more of that, and I think a lot of the guys today do a lot of things for kids, get involved in different charities. So I think it's all good. I mean, I think the guys today are doing that pretty well.
Rollie Fingers, Hall of Famer, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. I don't know if you saw, did you see the way the Blue Jays and Rays game ended yesterday with Bautista called out via replay and a double play instituted via replay because of the way Bautista slid into second base? Did you see that, Rollie?
Slided, yeah. I think I did see that on I was just flipping channels, and I think he kind of slid to the inside of the bag. But he slid over the bag. Was that
he did. He didn't, according to the replay officials, make an attempt to stay on the base, and he did actually grab at Forsythe, the guy who's trying to make the relay on the double play, and just wondering what you think, because baseball is.
I've seen guys slide more out of the baseline than he did. I didn't think it was a bad slide. I thought it was an okay slide. He upended the second baseman. That's what you're supposed to do, and he didn't go into a roll or anything. It was more of a slide. He didn't go into a roll, hit him high or anything. I thought it was a pretty fair slide. But I didn't find out what the outcome was when I was flipping the channels. All I saw was the slide, but I do remember the slide.
Well, the 2 runs that scored on the play were taken off the board and replaced by 2 outs, and it ended the game.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know if that would have been the right call for me. I think it was a fair enough slide he didn't try and hurt the guy. I think it was just a good takeout at second base.
Do you think replay has a place in the game, Rollie?
I think it does in some instances. I don't like seeing the game taken out of the umpire's hands. I don't mind it for balls that are maybe trapped in the outfield, balls hit down the line that are fair or foul, maybe home runs that hit at the top of the fence, and or maybe are not home runs. I don't mind that, but I think you got to keep the umpires in the game, and I think calling certain plays that are real close during the game. I don't know if a lot of them. I mean, if it's a game changer, maybe yes. But but if you do that, you got to do them all.
Who's the toughest batter you ever faced, Rollie?
Oh golly, I know a lot of them in the Hall of Fame right now.
Sure. Give me one.
Well, Frank Robinson was no easy out. Pete Rose, a lot of the line drive hitters were pains in the neck. Pete Rose, George Brett, Rod Carew, Wade Boggs, guys that were contact hitters. I didn't want to face those kind of guys in game situations, those runners on base, because they wear you out. You make great pitches on them, they foul them off until you might make a mistake. Much rather face, Armin Killebrew or, like I said, Frank Robinson in a game situation. They're more apt to hit into a double play or be able to strike them out. They had more holes in their swings. Home run hitters did. So,
and what was it?
I think probably George Brett. I say would probably be up there among the top 1 or 2.
George Brett. And last one for you, Rollie. What was it like in those years in Oakland? Those winning years, where you alluded to it with trying to make Reggie shave off the mustache that he showed up with. What was it like playing for the Charlie Finley days?
Well, we had a good time. It was a ball club that this is before free agency. We all came up through the minor leagues together. Joe Rudy and Dave Duncan and Reggie Jackson. We were on with Tony La Russa. We were all on the same team in Modesto, California, the California League in '66. And then me and Reggie and Joe Rudy were in Birmingham, and we all came up through the minor leagues together, and all, the nucleus of that team all hit the big leagues right around 1968, 1969. And then, we played together for a couple of years, 2-3 years, and then we put it together. We had a great pitching. I think that's what we won on was pitching. We had Catfish Hunter, and then we made a trade, got Ken Holtzman, we got Vida Blue, John Blumlund Odom. We were deep in the bullpen, myself and Darrell Knowles, Bob Locker. We had some pretty good relief pitching. The one thing that really blows me away about the years that I played in Oakland is I was there for 9 years, and I don't remember one pitcher in the 9 years that I was there being on the disabled list with an arm injury. And today, it's unbelievable, the arm injuries that I see.
Why do you think that is?
I think the guys, they work out, but they work out with you strengthen your arm by throwing a baseball. That's how you strengthen your arm. You strengthen your arm through throwing a baseball. And I think guys will start strengthening their arms using other muscles. You're pumping weights, you're doing curls, you're doing other things, but you're not strengthening the muscles that you use to throw a baseball. Me and Bob Locker would go out every other day, just about, in the big leagues, and we would do long toss. We would throw at each other, probably close to 150, 200 feet, long toss. 15, 20 pitches every other day. And we tried to hit each other in the chest at those distances. And I was you strengthen your arm by throwing the baseball, and you don't hurt those muscles if you're strengthening those muscles. And I think guys just don't do enough of that. I don't think they throw enough and strengthen them. They do other things to strengthen. So,
Rollie, it's a pleasure.
I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these armies. I look back on it, and I never remember one pitcher on the Oakland A's in the 9 years I was there out on a DL for any length of time for an arm injury.
Rollie, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for calling in and giving us some of your time.
You bet. I'll talk to you soon.
You bet. That's the great Rollie Fingers, Hall of Famer.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.